Alright, so this is how to remove a brake from a microblade. This is the 2022 Microblade G. This should apply for pretty much any of the microblades, at least a couple years old. But I'm using a 2022 model. So the only thing that's different between removing this brake and any of the brakes of any other rollerblade models is this pin right here, which you're going to have to tap out with a small screwdriver and a hammer, or something that you can fit in there and force out that way. So for me, tools, I got 2 Allen wrenches, one for either side of the wheel. I got what's called an awl. It's got a nice point on it, and basically what you're doing is getting in there and using that to hammer with a hammer, hammering that out. So to do that, I'm just going to take the awl, back it up a little bit, put it right there on the pin, and just give it a good couple whacks. And you can see that pin is sticking out, so you got something to grab onto. So take a pair of pliers, and it's kind of tight. You're gonna have to use a little bit of force, but eventually it should pop right out. There you go. So that's your pin, and that's your wheel. So now you can see brakes all floppy. And then you just want to take your Allen keys and just remove the wheel as usual, as you would typically do when you're switching out your wheels or just changing your brakes. Just unscrew both sides. There's your axle, there's your screw, there's your wheel, there's your brake. So, there you go. Until you get it off. Now putting it back on is just doing it the opposite way. So, I always like to put the axle on first, just because it helps hold the brake into place. Line that up. Axles can be somewhat tricky sometimes. And there we go. You don't want to go in. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to tighten this down. Go. It's tight, but your wheel is still floppy. So I'll take the pin, and you can see that, and it's going to go right in there. So line the brake up. See how there's kind of a notch right there, and there's a notch right there. They fit together. That's the way you know you're straight. Get it in there just a little bit to get it started. That, and then what I'll do is take the Allen key and just kind of use it as a flush marker and just kind of give it a few taps. So now that pin is sitting in there. It's not sticking out either side, but it's in there. Brake's nice and solid. So that's how you do it. Put any comments in below if you need help with anything or have any questions, but that should take care of you. All right.